Hi everyone, I'm Sean Patel, the founder of Prep Expert, a Shark Tank and Mark Cuban company specializing in SAT and ACT preparation classes. Today we're going to discuss how to become a doctor. So I know a lot of students out there are interested in eventually becoming physicians. For me, I'm actually currently in medical school in my last year at the University of Southern California, and I know quite a bit about the path, so I want to give you some insight. So the traditional way that you would go to medical school and become a doctor would be you go to college and you do pre-med, which means you take a lot of classes in biology, chemistry, and the sciences. You also have to get a high MCAT score. That's the standardized test that you take to go to medical school. You also need to do community service, you need to do research, volunteering at the hospital, and so there's all these different factors, obviously getting high grades in order to then apply to medical school and hopefully get in. Medical school is really competitive. Most schools have less than 5 to 10% acceptance rates. So it is a competitive process and you will have to work hard in college if you plan on being pre-med. But there's actually a secret way to get into medical school, and that's what I want to talk to you about. There are these programs that are geared towards high school students, which are called BS/MD programs. What exactly are these? Well, these are programs that guarantee you acceptance into medical school directly from high school. Now, this is what I did. So when I was in high school, I applied to different BS/MD programs around the country. One was at the University of Southern California, and I was lucky enough to get in, which meant that they not only got me admission into the undergraduate college at USC, but they also gave me admission into the medical school. Now, this is a big relief if you think about it, right? I didn't have to worry about my grades, my MCAT. There were certain minimums, but it wasn't anything crazy. I just had to keep a 3.3 GPA and get a 27 or an average score on the MCAT. So I didn't have to work super hard or worry whether I would get into medical school at the end of college. It's kind of like if someone told you in middle school, we're gonna guarantee you acceptance into Stanford if you just apply right now and you can just go do your high school thing. You would think that high school would be a lot less stressful, right? And so that's the beauty of these programs, and something you should certainly consider if you are interested in becoming a physician in your career. And so there are about 50 to 60 of these programs around the country. They are very competitive though. And so I would research into their average SAT scores and ACT scores, but I will tell you that typically they are going to be very high, meaning usually students getting into these programs have an average SAT score of 1500 or above, or an average ACT score of 32 or above, which is why it's very important to get your test scores up in order to not only get into these programs, but pursue your eventual career. So are you ready to beat the SAT? Check out prepexpert.com.